This is chapter 3 of this book. Meanwhile, deep beneath the hard red dirt, held tightly in the grip of the old tree's roots, something has come loose. A large jar buried centuries ago. A jar made from the same clay that lined the bed of the creek. A vessel with clean lines and a smooth surface, whose decoration was etched by an artist of merit. A jar meant for storing berries and crawdads and clean water, not for being buried like this far beneath the ground, held tight in the web of the tree's tangled roots. This jar, with its contents, a creature even older than the forest itself, older than the creek, the last of her kind. This beautiful jar, shaken loose in the random strike of lightning that pierced the tree's heart and seared downward into the tangled roots. Ever since, they have been loosening their grip. Trapped, the creature has waited. For 1,000 years, she has slipped in and out of her deep, deep sleep, stirred in her pitch-black prison beneath the dying pine. Soon, she whispered into the deep and solemn dark, my time will come. Then she closed her eyes and returned to sleep. Okay, so today I'm telling you about one of my top 10 favorite books of all time, and it is The Underneath by Kathi Appelt. Look at that picture. Oh, look at the kitties and the puppy. Okay, so in this story, there's a mother cat. She's pregnant. She's been dropped off in the woods because it starts out with there's nothing lonelier than a cat who's been loved, at least for a while, and then abandoned on the side of the road. So she's abandoned, she's going to have kittens, and she hears this howl, and she goes to investigate, and this dog is tied up to this mean man's house, and he tells her to stay underneath and to have her kittens. But we've all met kittens, and they're really curious, and one of the kittens does something one day, and it sets off a series of events. This is one of the coolest books I've ever read. I read it to my son when he was young, and I hadn't read it to the end, so I was so floored by the ending of this book. I was like, oh my gosh. So I love her writing style. I love the fact that that was chapter 3 that I read you. They're very short chapters, so that makes it easy to read. I also want you to know that as you go through, there are pictures that you can look at too. So that's another thing I like about this book. But I like that it weaves the past and the present together. You're going to learn a little bit about the area that this book takes place in, which is the bayou. And it's just, it might break your heart a little bit. And it's got some tough stuff in it, so be prepared for that. But it's just a lovely story. So if you get the chance, either ask Mrs. Grissom for her copy, or you can come into Union County Public Library and try ours. This is The Underneath